Hey guys, so I'm here to give you another video on grammar, this time past simple and past continuous. So what are they? When should you use them? And when you have a sentence, when you need to use both, what you decide to do where, or which do you decide to put where. So just for you to have some notes, past simple is an action that happened in the past, not the present, and happen is done with and is finished. So I woke up late yesterday is an example of something where you would use past simple because you would have woken up late. Yesterday is done with, is part of the past, and it doesn't do anything right now in the present, is not happening anymore. Past continuous is an action that was already in progress at a certain time in the past, and I'll give you more details in a minute, but it was happening and then it got interrupted by something else. So for example here, he couldn't come to the movies as he was working, so he was already working, therefore he couldn't do the other thing that started happening after he started working, which was going to the movies, okay, or that would happen while he was working, okay. So I'll give you more clues about past continuous in a bit, and also when you decide to use which of the two verb tenses, okay, or the tenses, yeah. Sorry. So anyway, past simple. If you want to do it in the negative, you are going to probably find that you need to use the verb to do to help you. So if you want to do it in the negative, you can say didn't plus the infinitive verbs. So for example, my parents didn't call me yesterday, or I didn't see you this morning. So this is you using the past simple, but you don't say my parents called me not, or didn't called me. So you need to use the didn't in the past, and the other verb is just in the infinitive tense, okay? So you don't put the two of them in the past. I didn't see you this morning is another example. So the didn't is the one that is in the past. So the see comes just as a regular see, so in the infinitive verb. And if you want to do it in the interrogative, so if you want to ask a question, you use the did, again because it's past and you're using the verb to do, and the subject, and then the infinitive verb. So again, is a common mistake, people writing did and then the verb in the past. So did you saw something, but you don't say did you saw, you say did you see, because the did is already making it in the past, okay? So did you have lunch already? Did Mike play football when he was at university? So these are already in the past because you're using the verb to do to make the sentence as in the past when you don't write do but did, okay? So you don't have to do anything else to the other verbs that make part of the sentence. Now, imagine that you have a situation and you're not quite sure if you should be using past simple or past continuous. So, when we use these two tenses together, it shows that the past simple action happened in the middle of the past continuous action, while it was in progress, while it was taking progress. So, something was happening, the continuous one, and something kind of either stopped it or just, um, happen at a time, and then it could stop happening after some time. So I will explain that just in a second. So for example, while I was studying, I suddenly fell asleep. So something was happening, the studying was happening, that's the past continuous, and then the person fell asleep. It didn't have to be asleep forever because it can stop, but it's still past continuous because it happened when something else in the past was already taking place, okay? So we often use these two tenses to show an action interrupting another action, so making it stop, interrupting temporarily, and then things can go back to normal. For example, as I was walking my dog, I saw an old friend. So I was walking my dog, that was happening already when something else in the past happened as well. I saw an old friend, and then I stopped seeing the old friend. I carried on walking my dog. So it's just something that happened that interrupted and is not a permanent one. It was just, a temporary action, okay? We were watching television when the power went off. So again, is another example. So something was happening in the past, and then something interrupted that action, okay? So that's how you decide if you want to use the past simple or past continuous. Many times you're going to find things like when and while, when this was happening, or while I was watching TV. that was when the power went off. So the while and the when kind of tell you which tense is going to happen after. So while this was happening, something else happened, or when I saw that happening, something else was happening at the same time. Okay? So let's just do some questions just for you to practice. So I have here some exercises. So of course, pause the video if you want to try them. So the first one, I, something to do with sit in a cafe when you, something to do with call. Then Karen, something to do with watch a movie when she, something to do with hear the noise. Mark, be in the shower when the phone ring. When I walk in the room, everyone work. So you decide how you want to do these past tenses. Why watch TV on a chair when I come into the room. Of course, the way that I'm saying is not the right way, okay? And then when I leave the house, it snow. And no, two more. He work in a bank when he met his wife. And what do you do, sorry, when I and then call you last night. Okay, so this is me reading. I know it didn't make a lot of sense, but it's just for you to know which verbs I would want you to use in these sentences. So what I want you to do is try them if you're interested. Pause the video if you want to try them, because I'm gonna carry on and show you the answers just right now. So the first one, I was sitting in a cafe when you called. So the action that was interrupted was the person sitting in the cafe in the past when someone else called them in the past, okay? But that calling action interrupted the sitting in the cafe. Karen was watching a movie when she heard a noise. So again, something was happening already, Karen watching a movie, and when something else happened, the noise that she heard. Mark was taking a shower when the phone rang. So far we always have the past continuous first and then the past simple after when something else happened, okay? When I walked into the room, everyone was working. So this one is the other way around. I have first the past simple and then the past continuous, but still I did something. I walked into the room and everyone was doing something, an action that was interrupted when I walked into the room, which was people were working, okay? So that's why I use first the past simple and then the continuous. And again, notice the when, okay? The when just before the past simple. When you called, when she heard, when the phone rang, when I walked into the room, okay? Why were you watching TV when I came into the room? So again, coming into the room was the action interrupting the watching TV. So that's why the watching TV is in the past continuous and the coming into the room is the past simple. When I left, again, when just before the past simple, the house, it was snowing. You could have said as well, I left the house while it was snowing, and the while is telling you that is the past continuous, okay? He was working in a bank when he's met his wife. So again, something that was interrupted. So him working in a bank when he met his wife. So that's why the first one is in the past continuous and the other one in the past simple. And what were you doing when I called you last night? So again, another example of the when showing up for the past simple, and the action that was interrupted was what the person was doing when someone else called them. So that's why you use the past continuous for that action that got interrupted. So I hope it made sense on when you use each of them, especially with the examples where you could see the things actually happening, everything that I was telling you happening. So again, I hope it made sense. And up to my next video, which could be a riddle or physics. Be happy and healthy. Bye!